Welcome and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Raven Deirit, and I will be your host for today. I am a fourth year student here at Holy Angel University and an intern here at MBH Online Accounting and Business Solution. MB, MBH Online Accounting and Business Solutions is a firm that provides different accounting services, bookkeeping services, and business services. In addition to that, MBH also gives importance to individuals wanting to learn and do business by offering tutorials and webinars that will surely be useful and relevant to you. Tulad na lang ng webinar na ito. Today, we are presenting CDA and BMBE Essentials to the Country's Economic Development, presented by Ms. Donna Medina, Ms. Ian Tolentino, and our special guest, Ms. Myla Hernandez. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any question during the presentation, please type them in the question box. For this webinar, for this webinar's Q&A portion, we will use slido.com to accommodate your queries. Questions will be brought up during the presentation, and there will be a question and answer portion at the end. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our two speakers. Ms. Donna Medina, a fourth-year Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, an intern here at MBH Online Accounting and Business Solutions, and a member of JPIA or Junior Philippine Institute of Accountants, together with Ms. Ian and Tezar Tolentino, also a fourth-year student taking up Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, a member of Junior Philippine Institute of Accountants, consistent Dean's Lister from year 2018 up to the present, a Zero Advisor certified. And to make this webinar more interesting, we have invited a guest speaker. She is the founder of MBH Online Accounting and Business Solution, a Zero and QuickBooks certified, Huan Tax Partner, and an accounting and business management instructor at BCCI. She is no other than Miss Myla Hernandez. Once again, may I call on Miss Donna Medina to present to you the first topic. Hello, Miss Donna.
Hi, Miss Deirit. Thank you for that. What an honor to be part of this webinar with our special guest speaker, Miss Myla Hernandez, and my partner, Miss Entazar Ian Tolentino, giving to you, our lovely viewers, the key elements on becoming a member or organizing a cooperative and be your guide to barangay microbusiness enterprise or BNBE. So, let's start. What is a cooperative? A cooperative is an autonomous, ibig sabihin, may sarili siyang desisyon and duly registered association of persons with a common bond of interest. Ibig sabihin, meron silang napagkasunduan bilang isang grupo, like being united, who have voluntarily joined together to achieve their social, economic, and business goals. economic, and cultural needs and aspirations by making equitable contributions to the capital required. They also are patronizing their products and services and accepting a fair share of risks and benefits. Lahat tayo nagko-contribute dito. Tulungan, kumbaga, this is in accordance with the universally accepted cooperative principles. These mentioned cooperative principles would be tackled further into this webinar. So, who regulates a cooperative? The Cooperative Development Authority, or CDA, is a proactive and responsive main government body charged with promoting the Philippines cooperatives' long-term growth and complete development so that they can become broad-based instruments of social justice, equity, and balanced national progress. So yung CDA ang nagsisilbing government agency na nakalaan para makapag-register ang lahat ng mga iba't ibang types of cooperatives. What are the objectives and goals of cooperatives? So based sa ating Cooperative Code of the Philippines, the primary objective of every cooperative is to help improve the quality life of its members. Ito talaga yung pinaka-main objective ng cooperative. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng members ng cooperative are financially capable na mag-own ng sariling business. Pero with cooperative, they can help those individuals by aiming to provide goods and services to its members para maka-attain ng pag-increase sa income nila, savings, investments, productivity, purchasing power, at pag-promote ng equitable distribution of net surplus. Also, they provide optimum social and economic benefits to its members. Teach them efficient ways of doing things in a cooperative manner. Propagate or grow cooperative practices and new ideas in business and management. They also allow the lower income and less privileged groups to increase their ownership in the wealth of the nation. Sobrang babaw lang yung capital requirement para maging member ka ng cooperative. Kaya kahit yung mga individual na hindi ganun kalaki yung kanilang earnings or source of income, magiging owner sila ng isang business or enterprise. Tulad tayong mga estudyante, magandang opportunity ito kung gusto natin kumita habang nag-aaral pa tayo. Since wala talaga tayong source of income and mostly umaasa lang tayo sa mga allowance na binibigay ng guardians natin, di ba? We can be a member of cooperative while we are still a student. So they also cooperate with the government, other cooperatives, and people-oriented organizations para makamit yung mga goals and objectives na na-mention sa taas. So what are the principles of cooperatives? Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na principles. So first, open and voluntary membership. Voluntary membership means that you can join a cooperative without being forced to. and open to all persons, as long as you will share a common bond of interest. Kaya regardless of your color, religion, gender, or economic conditions, kahit sino, basta kaya mong gamitin fairly ang mga services ng cooperative and is prepared to accept the duties of membership is welcome to join. Second, democratic member control. Cooperatives are democratic organizations governed by their members who have a say in policy making and decision making. Representatives, ito yung mga directors or trustees na i-elect sila among their members, among their membership, and should be accountable to them. In primary cooperatives, members have equal voting rights. Ibig sabihin, one member is to one vote. Yung mga cooperatives na nasa other levels naman are organized in a democratic manner, relating to the idea that all people should be treated equally. Ang pinaka-basis ng mga decisions na nagagawa ng cooperative ay true democracy, meaning botohan lagi, to be fair. So third is members' economic participation. Members contribute equitably to the cooperative's capital and have democratic control over it. At least some of the capital nagsistay as the cooperative's common property. Ang pinaka-meaning lang nito is bilang isang member ng cooperative, kailangan mag-contribute ka, wherein hindi lang ang cooperative ang makikinabang, kundi kayong lahat ng members. Kumbaga, give and take tayo dito. Next is the autonomy and independence. Nabanggit sa meaning ng cooperative kanina, di ba? Sila daw ay autonomous. Ibig sabihin, kaya niyang mag-decide on its own and being self-help organizations that are controlled by their members. If they enter into agreements with other organizations, including yung gobyerno or mag-raise ng capital from external sources, they do so on terms that ensure democratic control, pagbobotohan lahat bago mag-decide, as well as their unique identity. Our fifth principles is education, training, and information. Ang mga cooperatives dapat mag-provide din ng education and training for their members. Elected and appointed representatives, managers, and employees para makapag-contribute sila effectively and efficiently for the development ng cooperatives nila. Next is the cooperation among cooperatives. By working together through local, national, regional, and international structures, cooperatives improve services and deal more effectively with social and community needs. Halimbawa, meron tayong event sa cooperative. Kailangan natin mag-cooperate as a member, and it is our responsibility na rin to do so as a member ng cooperative. For our last principles, concern for community. Cooperatives work for the sustainable development of their communities through policies supported by the membership. Meaning, nag-e-employ at serve sila sa mga tao na part ng community, and they return the fruits of the enterprise to them. Hindi tulad ng sa ibang major corporations na madalas siniship nila ang profit sa investors agad-agad. Kaya hindi na nagkakaroon ng chance yung mga tao na part ng community na tulad nga na sabi ko kanina, hindi sila financially capable para mag-own ng sarili nilang business. So ngayon, meron tayong iba't ibang classifications ng cooperatives. To discuss this, Ms. Entazar Ian Tolentino, you may now take the floor. Hi, Ian. Say hi to our viewers.
Hello sa ating mga viewers and good morning din sa'yo, Miss Donna. And I think very interesting yung topic natin kasi nga naha-highlight yung concept na alone I am weak, together I am strong. So if individual persons, they come together to pool their funds, it can definitely help yung mga members. So ngayon, alam na natin kung ano ba yung basics ng cooperatives. Alamin naman natin ano nga ba yung iba't ibang klase ng kooperatiba. So una, meron tayo ditong credit cooperative. So itong klase ng cooperative na to, it promotes thrift among its members and creates funds in order to grant loans for productive and provident purposes. Ibig sabihin, ini-encourage ng cooperative na to na mag-save or mag-ipon yung mga members nila para makapag-ipon sila ng fund na pwede nilang ipautang sa kanilang mga members. And pangalawa naman, meron tayong consumer cooperative. Yung primary purpose nito is to procure and distribute commodities to members and non-members. So ito talaga, kung titignan, ito yung concept ng cooperative. It's an association of persons na nag-help sa kanilang mga members. And take note na yung consumer cooperative, nagtatransaction not only sa members but also sa non-members. So kung titignan, if may kailangan yung isang member, instead na kumuha pa siya sa isang company, more often than not, kukuha na lang siya sa cooperative since member siya doon. And next naman, meron tayong producer cooperative. Ito naman, they undertake joint production, whether agricultural or industrial. So yung cooperative na to, it is formed by its members to undertake production and processing ng mga raw materials or goods produced ng mga members into finished goods. And next one, meron din tayong marketing cooperative. So ito, if yung producer cooperative, sila yung nagpo-produce or nagpa-process ng raw materials, sa marketing naman, sila yung nagsusupply or nagbibigay ng mga production inputs sa mga members and sila din yung nagma-market or nagpa-promote ng product. Ano nga ba yung benefit ng isang marketing cooperative? So ito ay nagbe-benefit kasi tinutulungan niyang tumaas yung market ng isang cooperative na maintain niya din yung control nila sa product hanggang sa mabenta yung mga product na yon. And next one, meron tayong service cooperative. Ito naman, hindi sila nagbebenta ng mga goods or mga products, but rather, they provide services. So, ano ba yung mga services na yan? Pwede silang engage in medical and dental care, pwede ring hospitalization, transportation, insurance, housing, labor, electric lights and power, communication, and other services. So next one, finally, meron tayong multi-purpose cooperative. As the word suggests, ibig sabihin multi-purpose. Yan ay combination ng isa or ng dalawang mga classification na nabanggit kanina. So it is combines two or more of the business activities. Halimbawa, meron kang credit cooperative. Ibig sabihin, nagpapautang ka. Pero on the side, nagbebenta ka din ng products. So kung ano yan, kahit anong pagsamahin mo na dalawa doon sa mga nabanggit is called a multi-purpose cooperative. Ayan, so yan yung iba't ibang klase ng cooperative. How about yung mga cooperative na meron tayo? How about yung mga viewers natin kaya? Meron kaya silang type of cooperative na gusto nilang i-establish? Or how about yung host natin or yung aking kasamang guest speaker? Kung papipiliin kayo, Raven and Donna, anong cooperative naman ang gusto nyong buuin?
Hi, ayan. So, interesting talaga yung mga iba't ibang cooperatives natin na nabanggit mo kanina. So, ako kasi, interested ako na tumulong sa agricultural industries na since doon din talaga mayaman ang ating bansa, di ba? Kaya, naisip ko na mag-start na rin as multipurpose cooperative. Yung ipagsasama ko yung marketing cooperative and producer cooperative since makakatulong yon sa supply of productions, di ba?
Napakaganda niyan. Siguro
Yes.
kung si Miss Raven ata ay na-disconnect, tanungin na lang natin siya mamaya pagbalik.
Oh,
Pero very Oh, hello Miss Raven. Andito ka na. You're back.
Welcome
Naitanong
back.
lang. Yes, naitanong lang namin anong klaseng cooperative ba ang bubuin mo if ever? Oh, okay. Maybe babalikan na lang ba natin siya mamaya?
Yes, siguro nga.
Sige. Okay. So ngayon, no, dahil na-aaral na natin kung ano ba yung iba't ibang klase ng cooperatives, let's go ahead and tackle about registration ng cooperative. Paano nga ba mag-register ang isang cooperative? Pero bago yon, kailangan meron ka munang organization. You have to organize a cooperative first. Paano nga ba yan? So, una, kailangan mong mag-organize ng 15 members. Kailangan 15 kayo na maging members ng cooperative. Yan ay ang minimum requirement. So, kung 14 kayo, kung 13 kayo, maghanap pa kayo ng dalawa or isa, no, para makumpleto yung mga members ninyo. And once na makomplete nyo na yung 15 members, you have to think of a common problem na gusto nyong isolve. Ano ba yan? Lahat kayong members, anong problem yung gusto nyong isolve as a cooperative? Or if ayaw nyo naman na mag-solve ng problem, you can go ahead and think of a basic product na gusto nyong i-provide. Pero dapat take note, pag basic product, pangunahing pangangailangan yan. So ano yung pangunahing pangangailangan na gusto nyong ibigay para sa inyong bubuuing cooperative. So again, dapat voluntary yan. And next one, so kung meron na kayong 15 members and meron na din kayong common na basic need na you want to provide, you can go ahead and reserve your proposed cooperative name. So to do that, you have to secure and fill up a cooperative name reservation form or CRFF. And once you filled it out, pwede ka nang mag-submit to either CDA Central Office or Regional Office. Option to choose period to reserve proposed names with the corresponding fees. Yung unang choice mo pwedeng 30 days worth 100 pesos, 60 calendar days worth 200 pesos, and 90 calendar days worth 300 pesos. So, ayan siya. In the next slide, yan. Papakita natin kung ano nga ba yung itsura ng form. And you can see, you have to fill out three preferred names. Ano yung tatlong name na gusto mong ilagay sa bilang pangalan ng iyong cooperative. And once kailangan you fill out everything, no, make sure it's all correct. So after you fill out your reserved proposed name, you can go ahead and prepare a general statement called an economic survey. Ano naman yung economic survey? Ito ay isang general statement. Ibig sabihin, marami siyang dinedescribe. Katulad lang ng structure, paano nga ba gagalaw ang iyong business, ano yung purpose, para saan ang iyong cooperative, ano yung layunin nito, ano yung objective mo, and anong klase, tulad nung mga na-discuss kanina, anong klase ba yan ng cooperative, saan mo itatayo, saan ka mag-ooperate. Those are all in your economic survey. So it's like a feasibility study na inaaral mo kung how your cooperative will function in the future. So yan, yun yung economic survey picture. Next one, ikaw naman ay mag-prepare ng cooperative bylaws. So yung bylaws, ito yung nagko-contain ng mga rules and regulations na nag-govern sa cooperative. So kasi meron tayong tinatawag na articles of cooperation and madi-discuss din siya mamaya. Merong mga bagay na wala doon, hindi nasusulat sa articles of cooperation na nag-govern sa cooperative. And yung mga nasusulat sa bylaws. And yung mga nasusulat na yon, kailangan yung sundin ng mga members natin. Ano ba yung nandun? Nandun yung qualification for admission. Ano nga ba yung kailangan gawin or i-submit ng mga members bago sila maging members ng cooperative. Nandun din yung payment to be made, magkano yung babayaran para ma-exercise mo yung right of membership. And meron din, nasusulat din sa bylaws, ano ba yung rights, yung mga rights and liabilities ng membership. If you ask, ano nga ba yung liability ng isang cooperative? Unlimited liability ba yan? Or limited liability ba yan? And to answer that question, it is a limited liability sa cooperative. Ibig sabihin, you are only liable up to the extent or up to the term na iyong na-contribute. So if a member only contributed, let's say, 10,000 pesos, o once yung cooperative is mag-dissolve na siya, yung babayaran lamang ng member is up to the extent na binayaran lang niya. So, yun yung cooperative bylaws. And next one, meron naman tayong articles of cooperation. Ito yung na-mention ko kanina, no? If maaalala nyo, sa previous webinars natin, naaral natin yung partnership and corporation with the SEC registration, no? Maalala nyo, meron din tayong articles of incorporation. Para yon sa mga corporation. But when it comes to cooperatives, meron tayong articles of incorporation. So, same lang siya, no? Andito yung mga important details, such as yung cooperative name. Ano nga ba yung cooperative name mo? So, take note also if you have your cooperative name. The word cooperative, dapat nandun na lang ba yung life ng cooperative mo? So, take note also if you have your cooperative name, the word cooperative, dapat nandoon siya sa cooperative name mo. For example, it's ABC Cooperative, XYZ Cooperative. So, kailangan yung mismong word na cooperative is included. So, ano pa ba? Except sa cooperative name, meron din siyang founding members. Sino-sino yung mga naging founder ng iyong business. And doon din sa articles of cooperation, makikita mo din yung purposes and scope ng business mo and yung business term or existence. Gaano nga ba katagal ang existence ng isang cooperative? Gaano katagal ka mag-exist? So by default, it is 50 years. Ibig sabihin, so kapag 50 years ba, ibig sabihin hindi ka na pwedeng mag-extend? Hanggang dun na lang ba yung life ng cooperative mo? So, actually hindi. You can extend it kahit kailan mo gusto. As long as each extension is only 50 years. Yon. So, ito yung susunod is bond of accountable officers. Ito yung surety bond that should be secured from a duly registered insurance or bonding company. A surety bond is like a promise, a bond. Nagbabond siya sa mga officers para maipakita yung promise of faithful fulfillment sa mga kailangan nilang gawin in accordance to satisfy if may mangyari mang contingency or risks sa cooperative. Meron silang faithful fulfillment. And yon is represented by a bond or a surety bond. Next one is an execute a treasurer's affidavit. So, ano ba yung treasurer's affidavit? Ito yung sworn statement siya ng treasurer ng cooperative. So, yung treasurer, i-co-confirm niya na yung mga amounts, isa-certify niya na lahat ng amounts sa bylaws are accurate. Tama yung mga amounts na yan. And na-mention din ni Miss Donna kanina na super baba yung capital requirement sa isang cooperative, which is true kasi yung minimum lang na kailangan meron ka sa cooperative, kailangan meron kang 15,000 capital. So, 15,000 lang yon. And kung titignan, if you have 15 members, tigwo 1,000 pesos lang, pwede na kayong makabuo ng cooperative. So, let's say 30 kayo, 500 pesos lang, you can already establish your cooperative. And yun yung So, yun yung treasurer's affidavit. Next naman, after nyong nakuha yon, you have to complete a pre-membership education seminar or PMES. Ito naman is a prospective member of a primary cooperative. Kailangan niya daw itong makumpleto. Kasi, syempre, you cannot expect your members na alam na nila agad kung ano yung pinapasukan nila, 'di ba? You have to inform them, you have to tell them na paano ba, how does this work? Kailangan mo yung ituro sa kanila. So this is the first step. You have to teach them the brief background ng cooperative. Ano yung meaning ng cooperative? Ano yung kailangan nilang malaman? What are the principles and the type of cooperative na yon? What are the principles and the type of cooperative? So, once meron na kayo niyan, nag-register na kayo, ayan, you will submit the following required documents. Sa apat yung kopya na isasubmit. Ito yung kanina, economic survey, articles of cooperation and bylaws, and surety bond of accountable officers, treasurer's affidavit, approved cooperative name, and reservation slip, certificate of PMES also. So, yun, no, kailangan 4 copies niyan meron kayo. So, after yun, nakuha nyo na lahat ng documents ninyo, kailangan nyo siyang i-register dun sa na-mention na regulating body, which is the Cooperative Development Authority or CDA. So, once na-register na kayo sa CDA, they will issue you a certificate of registration. Yan yung COR nyo na proof na registered na kayo sa CDA. And once na-register na kayo, they can issue also a certificate of recognition na nagre-recognize that you have already fulfilled all the requirements in building your cooperative. So that's it for the registration and classifications of cooperatives. So now let's give the microphone back to Miss Raven Dayrit.
Hello, Ian. Thank you for that.
Hello.
Sa tingin ko, no, ang dami-dami talagang baon na information ngayon ng ating mga viewers. Napakaganda rin talaga ng concept ng cooperative, no? Yun yung para matulungan nila yung members, lalo na pinaprioritize nila yung mga mas may kailangan ng tulong. Hindi lang yon. Binibigyan rin nila ng opportunity yung mga individuals na hindi ganun ka-stable financially. Gustong mag-own ng business or enterprise, 'di ba? Basta tandaan, dapat meron kayong common bond of interest. So guys, are you still with us? That ends our talk about cooperatives, and hopefully you've learned as much as we have. Kung meron kayong tanong, you can leave it on slido.com for further discussions later at the Q&A portion. Now, we will proceed to our next segment, which is the challenges of cooperative life. next topic, which is the BMBE or the Barangay Microbusiness Enterprise under Republic Act 9178 to be presented by Miss Medina. Hi again, Miss Medina.
Hi, Miss Raven. Thank you. Ayan, next topic na tayo. Itong next topic natin, maganda rin para sa mga individuals na nagsisimula pa lang sa businesses nila. So, to start, what is Barangay Microbusiness Enterprises or BMBE? From the word itself, micro, a BMBE is defined as any business entity with total assets of less than 3 million pesos that is engaged in the production, processing, or manufacture of products, including agro-processing, as well as trading and services. Ibig sabihin nito, any businesses, as long as yung total assets mo ay hindi mag-e-exceed sa 3 million pesos. However, kahit na hindi nag-exceed sa 3 million pesos ang ating total assets, excluded pa rin from the benefits and incentives granted by the BMBE Act ang mga services na nagpo-provide by the an individual who practice its profession such as PRC licensed individuals. Hindi po kasama dito yung mga professional na nagpa-practice ng kanilang mga profession tulad ng doctors, accountants, lawyers, engineers, at marami pang iba. Nako, Ian at Raven, kapag naging accountant ng pala tayo at pinapractice na natin ang profession natin, hindi pala tayo makakatikim ng benefits ng BMBE. Sayang, ang gaganda pa man din ng benefits dito, which will be mentioned later. So anyway, also an enterprise that is involved or connected to large-scale enterprises. So meaning, hindi rin pwede rito kung ikaw ay isang branch or franchise. Kasi part na kayo nun ng isang malaking kumpanya kasi may branch na siya at franchise. Republic Act 9178 or the Barangay Microbusiness Enterprises Act of 2002. An act to promote the establishment of barangay microbusiness enterprises or BMBEs, providing incentives and benefits therefore, and for other purposes. So this act was approved and signed by our former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo noong November 13, 2002. So ano nga ba ang objectives ng Act of 2002 na ito? The Act intends to encourage yung pagbuo at paglawak ng mga small businesses by providing benefits and incentives to assist BMBE businesses in growing and thriving. Its goal is to promote an entrepreneurial mindset among Filipinos to promote economic development. It also aims to improve Filipinos' quality of life sa paggawa ng jobs at pag-provide ng sariling source of income. Now, what are the incentives and benefits given to BMBEs? Ito na yung hindi natin matitikman kapag accountant tayo. So first, Exemption from taxes and fees. All BMBEs shall be exempt from tax for income arising from the operations of the enterprise. So magkakaroon daw tayo ng tax exemption dito. Tax exemption po sa ating income tax. Ibig sabihin, yung ibang taxes nun, hindi tayo exempted, tulad ng business tax and excise tax, and etc. Ang second exemption is the coverage of the minimum wage law. Employees under this act will still receive the same social security and healthcare benefits as other employees. Ibig sabihin nito na kung ang minimum wage natin, let's say 400 pesos, hindi tayo nire-require ng batas na magpasahod ng 400 pesos din or mas mataas pa doon. Kasi possible na nagsisimula pa lang yung business natin, kaya pwede tayong magpasahod ng mas mababa pa sa 400 pesos. Dahil hindi nga tayo cover ng minimum wage law. Ang third incentives, credit delivery. Following the approval of this act, the Land Bank of the Philippines, the Development Bank of the Philippines, the Small Business Guarantee and Finance Corporation, and the People's Credit and Finance Corporation will establish a special credit window to cater to the financing needs of BMBEs registered under this act. So meaning, ang ating government ay magbibigay ng financial assistance sa atin at nag-designate sila ng ilang financial institutions din to help us on that, tulad ng mga nabanggit dito. So fourth, incentives and benefits, technology transfer, production and management training, and marketing assistance. A BMBE Development Fund will be established with a 300 million pesos allocation from the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation or PAGCOR, and will be administered by the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Council. The assistance in technology, training, and marketing will be from certain government agencies such as DTI, DOST, UPISSI, CDA, TESTA, and TLRC. In other words, magbibigay ng access ang government kapag meron silang i-offer na training. Siguro para tulungan tayo sa ating mga processes at yung mga tao natin sa pag-handle ng operations sa business. So now for registration, Miss Ian will continue from here. Hi, Miss Ian.
Hello. Hello. Ayan. Hello ulit and thank you ulit, Miss Donna. And I think pagkatapos sigurong marinig ng ating mga viewers yung mga nabanggit na incentive at exemptions na pwedeng ma-acquire by registering, talaga namang maraming ma-encourage na magpa-register na sila. So ngayon, kung itatanong how to register a barangay microbusiness enterprise or BMBE. Ngayon, sasabihin muna natin sino nga ba ang pwede or who are eligible to register. So, kung ikaw ay business na engage in sale of products and services, ibig sabihin kailangan daw nagbebenta ka ng mga produkto or nag-o-offer ka ng services na magpa-register ka. ng services. Yun yung unang requirement. And its total assets is not more than 3 million pesos. So dapat lahat ng assets mo, lahat ng assets ng iyong enterprise ay 3 million below lang siya. Hindi pwedeng lumampas doon or else you will no longer be eligible for registration. Next one, how much is the registration cost? Minsan kasi kapag narinig natin na malaki pala yung babayaran sa pagre-register, iniisip natin na wag na lang magparehistro or sayang lang yung perang babayaran. Pero para sa mga interesado po dyan, let me tell you na yung fee to register as a BMBE in the city office is encouraged to be free. Ibig sabihin, wala kang babayaran. You don't have to pay anything para magpa-register sa BMBE. However, ayun na nga. Pero some LGUs are allowed to collect of not more than 1,000 pesos. So meron mga piling LGU daw dyan na nag-aalaw na mag-collect sila ng hindi naman sosobra sa 1,000 pesos. And this is to cover yung mga administrative cost of registering and monitoring the BMBE. So may kapupuntahan naman pala yung 1,000 pesos na yon. So if you're not sure whether kailangan ba ng 1,000 pesos or not, mas okay magdala na kayo ng 1,000 pesos, no? So next one, ayan. Paano na nga ba mag-register? So, una, ang ating basic requirement. You have to accomplish a BMBE Form 0101 and submit 3 copies to the office of the municipal or city treasurer. So, itong BMBE Form 1 na ito is pwede nyo siyang i-download sa internet. Meron naman siya mada-download. Pero I think it's much better if you coordinate with your business counselor if meron man sa inyong area or a negosyo center sa DTI website. So you have to make sure, ayan, yan yung itsura ng form natin. You have to make sure na filled out lahat. Wala kang malilive na information. And you have to double check, tama ba yung mga in-input mo dyan? Tama ba yung mga pinagsusulat mo? Yung mga spelling mo? And dapat yung business address mo din is kumpleto. Kasi if may maling information dyan or may incomplete na information, it would probably mapepending yung registration mo. So, mas matatagalan bago ka maaprubahan. So, ayan. Once na-fill out mo na yung BMBE Form 01, you can go ahead and prepare na yung mga pictures mo. Kailangan natin ng passport size ID pictures. So, yun lang yung dalawang basic requirement. For the additional requirement, meron tayong dalawang categories. Ayan. With assets less than 300,000. So, ito yung medyo mas mababa lang ang iyong income or ang iyong assets. So, ang kailangan mo lang dyan is registration with SEC or DTI. Ano nga ba yan? I think napag-aralan na natin yan sa mga previous webinars natin. So, yung DTI is for sole proprietorships. So, ito yung mas alam natin bilang Certificate of Business Name Registration. Yung SEC naman is naaral din natin yan sa ating previous webinars. Ito yung for partnerships and corporation. Yan. And along with your registration, kailangan din meron tayong mayor's permit. And ito naman, with assets of 300,000 or more, 300,000 up to 3 million pesos. So ito yung medyo mas malaki na yung assets mo. So like understandable naman na if mas malaki yung asset mo, mas marami nang i-require sa'yo si government. So, katulad nung with assets less than 300,000, kailangan mo din ng registration with SEC or DTI, kailangan mo ng mayor's permit. And along with that, kailangan mo ng registration with BIR. Kailangan registered ka na sa BIR. Meron ng proof na baka nagbabayad ka na ng tax or hindi, basta kailangan registered ka na sa BIR. Next one, kailangan mo din ng sworn statement or affidavit stating that the enterprise is micro in nature and based in barangay. Next is a sworn statement of assets and liabilities. Ito is medyo crucial siya because dito talagang ilalagay mo yung figure, yung amount, kung magkano ba talaga yung assets and liabilities. Kasi kung ibaback natin, sinabi dito, kailangan talaga 3 million lang and below yung assets mo. So, kailangan talagang nasa sworn statement mo yung mismong figure ng amount of assets and liabilities. Next naman is yung image ng place of business. So, you have to provide a picture ng kung saan ba nakatayo ang iyong business. Next is image of the assets mo, except yung cash, receivables, and intangibles. So, kailangan mo daw ipakita kung ano yung mga PPE mo ba yan or supplies, all your assets, tangible assets, except cash and receivables. And next is, kailangan mo din if meron kang loans, you need to provide a copy of your contract and your income tax returns. Ayan, so yun yung mga requirement sa new BMBE registration. So once na-acquire na natin lahat ng requirements na yan, yung municipal or city treasurer, siya yung mag evaluate ng application mo. Siya yung figure out if you are eligible to register for BMBE. And your application will be evaluated and will be processed within 15 working days upon submission. So after 15 working days daw, wala pang sinasabi, wala pang reply sa'yo, it is deemed na registered ka na. So, kailangan mo lang maghintay ng 15 working days para ma-register ka sa iyong BMBE. And next one, a registered BMBE shall be issued a certificate of authority. So, ito na yung certificate mo na nag-prove na ikaw ay registered na. It is a proof of registration and it is valid for a period of 2 years and is renewable for every 2 years. So, yung COA mo daw is for 2 years. So, ayan yung picture ng ating certificate of authority. So, if we zoom in, makikita din natin. Ayan. Kung kailan ka naging authorized and yan. So, ayan yung certificate of authority natin, no? So, once na meron ka na niyan, you are already BMBE registered. So, na-mention kanina na ang validity ng iyong BMBE registration is only for 2 years. And after nun, it is renewable na. So, let's talk about yung renewal ng BMBE registration. So, katulad kanina na ang validity ng iyong BMBE registration. So, katulad kanina, meron din tayong dalawang categories. So, una, with assets of less than 300,000. Ito yung mas maliliit lang yung assets. Kailangan lang, katulad kanina, registration with SEC or DTI. Kailangan din ng mayor's permit. annual information return. Ito na, yung annual information, kailangan mo din siyang isubmit or income tax return filed with BIR. And next naman, with the next category, assets of 300,000 to 3 million. Ito na yung mas mataas yung assets mo. Kailangan mo na ng registration with SEC or DTI, mayor's permit, registration with BIR, sworn statement of affidavit stating na the enterprise is micro in nature and based in barangay. Kailangan mo din ng sworn statement of assets and liabilities, image of the place of business, image of the assets except cash, receivables, and intangibles, copy of contracts of loan if meron, and income tax return filed with the BIR. So, yun yung mga requirements natin, basic and additional requirements para sa renewal and registration of BMBE. Ngayon, na-mention ito sa isa sa mga incentives and exemptions natin with as a registered BMBE. So ngayon, nasabi na exempted tayo sa income tax, pero hindi sa ibang klase ng tax like yung business nga daw and excise tax. So paano nga ba mag-a-apply sa income tax exemption? So once the city treasurer has issued the BMBE certificate of authority, pwede na tayong mag-file and apply. So bakit nga ba tayo binigyan ng ganito? It's because nire-recognize ng government na nag-uumpisa pa lang, starting pa lang yung business natin, and it also recognizes na hindi natin kayang makipagsabayan sa mga malalaking businesses. Kaya binibigyan niya tayo ng privilege to apply for a tax exemption. So yung mga kailangan dyan ay una, kailangan mo ng photocopy of PMBE Certificate of Authority. Ito yung kanina na i-issue sa'yo ng municipal or city treasurer once na-submit mo lahat ng basic and additional requirements. Number 2 is you need a sworn statement of assets with supporting documents. And so kailangan dito ipakita mo kung lahat ng assets mo and kailangan merong proof na assets mo sila. Next one is list of branches, warehouses, factories, etc. So yung business mo, maybe yung 300,000 to 3 million. If meron ka ng mga branches dyan or mga warehouse, kailangan mo din silang i-declare sa mga requirements. Next one is list of affiliates. Kung meron kang stake ng iba't ibang businesses na hawak ng iyong company or may share ka sa ibang business, kailangan mo lang i-lista yan sa mga requirements. And ito, optional lang din, latest audited financial statement, if applicable lang. So much better if you ask your RDO, kung saan yung regional district office mo to tell you kung ano ba yung mga requirements na kailangan. Kasi sometimes it varies kung saang RDO ka, iba't ibang requirement yung hinihingi nila minsan. Ayan, so yan yung mga requirements for income tax exemptions of BMBEs. And next one, Ayan. So ano-ano nga ba yung pwedeng mangyari or pwedeng magawa natin para ma-terminate or ma-revoke yung BMBE certificate natin? So kapag na-terminate na yan, ibig sabihin you're no longer a BMB certified, you're no longer eligible for the incentives and exemptions na na-tackle natin kanina. So ano nga ba yun? Una, change of business address. Ibig sabihin, kasi 'di ba barangay enterprise ito, kapag nag-change ka ng business address mo, technically wala ka na sa jurisdiction ng barangay na pinag-register mo. So once you change your business address, magiging terminated na din ang yung BMBE certificate. Next one is total asset exceed 3 million pesos. Kung maaalala natin, so kailangan 3 million lang ang assets mo. So kung nag-flourish na yung business mo, nag-earn na siya, dumami na yung assets mo, lumagpas na, so ibig sabihin hindi ka na pwede mag-avail ng BMBE kasi nga ibig sabihin di ka na nare-recognize as a maliit na business. Kaya mo nang bayaran yung taxes mo and iba pa. So, yun, hindi ka na magiging BMBE once ma-exceed mo na yung threshold na 3 million pesos. Number 3 is voluntary surrender of the BMBE certificate. Ito naman, kung ikaw na mismo, sinurrender mo na yung certificate mo. Maybe ayaw mo nang mag-renew or for other reasons na nasa sayo. Next one is the death of the sole proprietor. So, syempre, kung sa'yo nakapangalan yung business mo and once you die or once the death of the sole proprietor, it would render also your BMBE certificate to be terminated. Next is number 5, non-compliance and violation of RA 9178. So ito yung 9178, ito yung discuss kanina ni Donna, yung Act of 2002. And next one, meron tayong consolidation or merger to an enterprise which is not BMBE registered. So kasi kapag sinabi natin consolidated or merger, ibig sabihin sumama ka sa ibang company, sumama ka sa ibang enterprise. And once na yung sinamahan mo, hindi siya BMBE registered, parang ikaw nun, it would consider you as a non-BMBE na din. So once sumali ka or naki-merge ka sa isang enterprise na hindi BMBE registered, hindi ka na din magiging BMBE registered. And number 7 is if you sell your BMBE enterprise. And number 8 is falsification of documents. Ito, it constitutes to fraud, di ba? Kapag dinaya mo yung mga documents mo, dinoktor mo yan or you falsified, it's also a ground for termination. And last one is if you close your BMBE enterprise. Of course, hindi ka na din magiging BMBE registered. And number 9 is certified. So it would also revoke your certificate of authority. So kung titignan, medyo explicit naman yung mga grounds for termination. So once nagawa mo yung mga yan or nangyari yung isa sa mga yan, it would mean that you are no longer eligible for a BMBE Certificate of Authority. So, di mo na matitikman, sabi nga ni Miss Donna, yung mga incentives and exemptions na ibinibigay under this act. Ayun nga, no. So, that's it that's it for our barangay micro business enterprise, and hopefully marami kayong natutunan that you can also share sa iba. So let's give the microphone back to Miss Raven.
Alright. Talaga nga namang marami talaga kaming natutunan dahil sa mga sinabi niyo at mga shinare niyo, no? Alright. Grabe, ang dami talagang benefits ng pag-join sa BMBE. Imagine, being exempt sa income tax, magkaroon ng special credit para ma-cater yung financial needs mo as BMBE at marami pang iba, di ba? Sobrang laking opportunity nito para sa ating mga viewers. Lalo na sa mga nagbabalak pa na mag-put up ng business nila. Okay? Para mas malinawagan tayo ang mga viewers natin, sagutin natin ang mga ilang questions nila. Para sa mga viewers na may mga questions pa, please proceed to slido.com and enter the code 170391, or you can also scan the QR code presented at your screens. Okay, so let's proceed to the Q&A portion. For this segment, we will have once again our speakers, Miss Donna, Miss Ian, together with our guest speaker, Miss Myla Hernandez. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
All right. So, okay.
Hello, good morning. Thank you,
Ayan.
guys.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Morning,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So, we have here yung mga questions ng mga viewers natin. So, if I may read na yung first question natin. Ang tanong niya
Okay,
is,
go ahead.
okay ma'am, paano ma-avail yung BMBE, yung exemption from coverage sa minimum wage law?
Okay, once yung BMBE is registered and na-issued na sa kanya yung certificate of authorization, automatic na siyang exempt sa minimum wage law.
All right. Ayan.
If I may ask din po, ma'am, kapag po ba exempted sila noon, paano po yung mga benefits nila, like yung mga SSS po, kailangan po ba ipoprovide pa rin po ba yun sa kanila?
Kung halimbawa, before sila maging BMBE yung company, and then napapasweldo na sila ng minimum wage, okay, and then may mga benefits na sila. So yung lahat ng existing na rates nila, existing na benefits nila is tuloy-tuloy lang yon. Yung effect ng BMBE for the minimum wage is after ma-issue yung BMBE certificate nila, or after nila ma-avail yung BMBE nila, yung mga susunod nilang i-hire, doon pa lang automatic ma-exempt, okay? Ma-exempt or pwede nilang gawing below minimum wage yung salary. Pero yung mga existing na mga hired, okay? Yung mga existing employees na, kung ano yung rate nila before, yun pa rin ang magte-take effect. Okay?
Okay po.
Okay, ayan. So nasagot na rin itong tanong natin na ano kaya yung effect ng law on wages sa mga existing or newly hired. So ito, ang next question natin is the exemption from the coverage of the minimum wage law prospective in nature?
Perspective and nature.
I think ito din po yung nabanggit kanina ni ma'am na yung maapektuhan lang daw is yung pagkatapos ng registration. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na maapektuhan po yung mga nangyari na dati. Yun po ata.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay. So we have here yung next question. Ayan. Okay, nasagot na rin to. Perspective in nature ba yung exemption? Ito. Ito, may new question tayo. Sabi niya, how much should a BMBE worker be paid for his services?
Ayan, it depends pa rin sa employer-employee agreement. Okay? Kasi may mga pagkakataon na yung employer is above minimum wage naman sila mag-pay and with benefits. So it depends po. Pero pwede rin po na below minimum wage. So the answer dyan is it depends doon sa agreement ng employer and employee.
Okay. Thank you po. For the next question po, we have any what are the steps po in availing the income tax exemption?
Okay, yung steps for availing the income tax exemption. So yung iyong BMBE or yung Certificate of Accreditation is dadalhin lang siya doon sa RDO. You are located yung pinaka principal office o yung main office ng business. And then, isasubmit lang yon together with the updates, okay, ng BIR Form 1905 to update na ikaw ay BMBE. And then, after nun, they will issue you another certificate o yung COR na you are income tax exempt.
Matagal po ba yun, ma'am, bago po ibigay yung exemption po ninyo?
Within the day din ng application mo, bago ka umuwi, you will receive it.
O
One day process lang siya.
mabilis po pala?
Oo nga, within the day din pala.
Oo.
Pag
Yes.
So,
naging
ayan, sa
authorized
mga
na.
nagbabalak avail ng tax exemption, ayun pala, one day processing lang siya, guys. Okay.
Yes.
So, for our next question naman, we have here, ano po yung mga documents na need isubmit sa BIR para ma-avail yung income tax exemption?
Okay, as I mentioned kanina, okay, these are, at saka nung mga speakers natin, ang need i-submit para ma-avail yung income tax exemption is your copy ng BMBE Certificate of Authority, yung sworn statement of assets ng BMBE, and kung meron siyang mga affiliates and then any supporting documents para doon. And then kung meron siyang certified list, kung may mga branches or any sales outlets, kung saan yung mga place noon, kung may warehouse, kung may mga storage facilities siya. And then, nabanggit din kanina yung latest audited financial statements or account information form. any of the two. Pero hindi naman din necessary, hindi naman lahat sa BIR-RDO, siyempre pare-parehong BIR, pare-parehong RDO, pero minsan kasi magkakaiba sila ng need. Okay? As to what I experienced, ang kailangan lang dito sa Bataan area is that the copy of your BMBE Certificate of Authority, okay, and then the application form, yung BIR form 1905 that you need to update, and your old, okay, COR or Certificate of Registration. Because they will get it back, parang babawiin nila kasi yon, and then they will issue you another certificate of registration na meron na siyang nakalagay na BMBE, BMBE or income tax exempt ka. Ayan.
Ayan. So, na-take note nyo ba yun, mga viewers natin? So, kung medyo nahuli kayo, pwede nyo balikan yung mga videos natin. Masasave naman to sa Facebook page natin. Okay? So, mag-proceed na tayo sa next question. Ano? Okay, nasagot na rin to kanina. Kakasagot lang natin. Ano pong document yung dapat i-file? So, we have here the next question. Is the income tax exemption privilege of a BMBE irrevocable?
It is not irrevocable in nature, but the income tax exemption privilege of a BMBE may be revoked. Katulad ng nasabi kanina ng speaker natin, ano ba ang mga reasons kung bakit siya mare-revoke? Okay, una is the transfer of place ng business. Siyempre, nagbago ka na ng location, so mare-revoke na yung BMBE mo. Another is, di ba meron tayong ceiling na pagka BMBE ka, dapat your total assets is below 3 million pesos. So kapag yung assets value mo is nag-exceed na siya sa 3 million, ibig sabihin, mare-revoke na yung BMBE mo. Okay, another is kapag you voluntarily surrender yung certificate of authority mo. Another is kapag yung owner or yung registered owner ng company, ng BMBE, is namatay siya, okay, or mayroon siyang na-violate. So, na-violate na provisions doon sa BMBE law. Okay, mare-revoke na siya. Another is kapag yung company mo is nakipag-merge with other company or consolidated with other company. Wherein yung other company na ka-consolidate mo or ka-merger mo is not a BMBE eligible. Okay? And then another is kapag transfer or ibinenta mo na yung ownership mo, sale or transfer of the BMBE. Okay? So ibig sabihin kasi yung proprietorship o yung pagmamay-ari ng business is maiiba na siya. Okay? And then another is kapag nag-falsified na mga documents. So ibig sabihin there's a chance na ma-revoke din yung ating BMBE. Another is kapag syempre retirement, cessation, syempre pag closure na yung business mo, automatic revoke na lahat ng ng pagiging tax exempt. Ayun. And then what else? Meron pa ba ako nakalimutan? Speakers sa mga nabanggit niya kanina?
Um, dagdag lang po siguro dun sa submission of fake or falsified. Kapag nag-o-omit po sila, like binabawasan po nila yung mga
Yes.
declarations nila, ganun po yun.
Yes, yung sa ating statements of assets. Kasi kailangan makita talaga na ma-check nila na you are below 3 million yung total assets natin.
Oh, I
Okay?
see. Thank you po.
Ayan. Ayan, yung next question naman natin dito is, need po ba mag-report ng BMBE to any changes sa status of its ownership structure?
Okay. Dito, the question is yes, pero the BMBE is magre-report lang siya sa DTI. Sa DTI lang, through the Negosyo Center, para lang ma-note, magkaroon ng notation yung ating certificate, BMBE certification, certificate of authority. Pero sa other agency, like I mentioned, sa mga speakers, no need na. Just doon lang sa DTI. Okay? Sa Negosyo Center.
Oh, okay. Same po ba ma'am kapag sa mga SEC po, yung sa mga partnership and
Yes.
corporation?
Yes. Changes kasi may reports naman yon. Meron silang tinatawag na GIS, General Information Sheet. Doon nakalagay ang mga bawat changes every year, kung sino yung mga officers, directors, and stockholders. Kung
Oh,
merong pagbabago.
Alright, para sa last question natin para sa webinar na ito, what are the incentives granted to BMBEs?
What are the incentives? Okay, unang-una doon is yung ating minimum wage law. Okay? Kasi pwede ang mga BMBs makapagpasweldo ng below minimum. Another is yung income tax exemption. Okay? Arising from doon sa operation nung business nila. So, income tax exempt sila. But I want to take note is hindi na sila pwedeng mag-file ng kanilang income tax returns. Iwasan ko lang kung talaga sila record ba yun, okay, na mag-file ng kanilang income tax returns. And then ang kailangan lang nilang i-submit is the AIF form. Okay, yung parang tawag ito, annual information sheet form. Okay, yun lang. But not the ITR or the income tax return. Pero, okay, yun, karoon kasi konting slight headache, okay, sa mga owners, which is if they want to gather more loans, okay, loans sa bank, or may paggagamitan sila ng ITR nila, hindi kasi tinatanggap ng mga credit officer ang CIF. And then ipapaliwanag nila kasi sa credit na we are not required to file the income tax return kasi we are just BMBE, blah, blah, blah. Ang sasabihin sa kanila ng credit officer, we don't need the AIF. We need the ITR. So, it depends din po ha. You are not required, okay, to file, okay, and then to file your income tax return, pero i-check nyo lang din po on your end if there's a possibility na kakailanganin nyo to in the future. And then make sure din alala lang na yung pagsasubmit kasi na income tax return is may deadline din po yan. Hindi siya pag gusto mo lang mag-file, kailangan mo mag-file ka. So it's subject din po yan sa deadline. And kapag ka the deadline, okay, is kailanganin mo siya, it will be subject for the penalties and interest din po. So, make sure lang din po na ready din po kayo ganito at mapagplanuhan niyo po kung kailangan niyo ba mag-file ng income tax returns or not. Pero as to BMBE, it's not required naman po. Yun lang po, i-clarify ko lang po yung area na yun. And then as to na-mention ko nga kanina, exempted nga siya from the coverage of the minimum wage law. Okay, another is may mga government institutions or mga financial institutions na yung mga BMBE natin is nagbibigay sila ng special credit how do you call it? Special credit window, okay? Special credit window sa kanila na mas lessen, na mas mababa yung kanilang interest rates doon sa regular na interest rate sa mga regular businesses. So, mas mababa sila. Okay? And then, another is yung mga trainings, seminars, mga ganyan, marketing assistance, binibigyan sila ng government natin, yung mga technology, yung mga ganyan. So, meron kasi ng mga LGUs na nagpo-provide ng mga ganito. Like yung sa mga trade fair, okay. So, may mga free training, seminars, so i-check lang po na yung mga marketing assistance sa lahat ng mga BMBE beneficiaries. And also, mas maganda pa rin na BMBE, bakit? Kasi most of the LGUs is kapag ikaw ay BMBE, nire-reduce nila yung amount ng mga local taxes, yung mga barangay taxes natin, or yung pag nagbayad tayo sa mga municipal fees, yung mga mayor's permit renewals na mga permits natin, meron silang nililesen nila yung mga taxes that we need to pay. Ayun. So, meron ba kayong idadagdag?
Additional question po, ma'am.
Yes.
Kasi nabanggit po doon na exempted daw po sa BMBE yung mga nagpa-practice na po ng profession nila.
Yes.
Halimbawa po, ako, CPA na po. Sana in the next future. Tapos, owner din po ako ng computer shop. Pero
Yeah.
as a CPA, ayun nga po, as a CPA, owner din po ako ng computer shop. Ibig sabihin po ba nun yung computer shop ko na business, hindi po siya pwedeng i-register as BMBE?
Kapag ikaw ang solely owner noong computer shop, so kasi mini-merge kasi 'yon. So kung ano ang main mo, which is your main, it's not. Bali kung halimbawa ang main mo is not eligible for the BMBE, and then nag-open ka ng another computer business, right? Yung computer business mo, which is magiging kasi siyang branch. So it's not eligible for the BMBE.
Sayang naman po. Dahil pa naman pong magagandang incentives and benefits ng BMBE.
Ayan. So, 'di ba, ang dami nga talagang benefits ng BMBE. Kaya sa mga viewers natin diyan, sa mga nagbabalak na magtayo ng business, maliit 'yan. Kahit na maliit lang 'yan, marami pa rin tayong makukuha from this. So, that's it for our webinar. Muli, ating pasalamatan ng ating mga naging speaker, Miss Donna, Miss Entezar, at sa ating guest speaker na si Miss Myla Hernandez. Maraming salamat po sa oras na ibinigay ninyo upang ma-share ang inyong mga kaalaman sa ating mga viewers. Lalong-lalo na sa pagsagot ng mga questions at sa mga pabaon na aral. Grabe 'di ba? Mula Series 1 hanggang ngayon, hindi nagsawa ang ating mga speakers na magbahagi ng kanilang kaalaman at experiences sa ating mga viewers. Naway naging oportunidad ito para mas maging aware kayo at familiar sa mga processes sa pag-start ng inyong mga business. Sana ay naniwanagan kayo sa mga inyong mga katanungan at sana mas lumawak pa ang inyong mga kaalaman. Tandaan nyo guys, we have options like joining the cooperatives or pwede rin kayong mag-register and be a member of BMBE. Di ba guys? Ang dami opportunities to start a business at napakaswerte ninyo na at this time, alam nyo na yung mga kailangan nyo such as the processes, requirements to start the business. Kung gusto nyo pang matuto at mapakinggan ang mga susunod pang webinar mula sa MBH Online Accounting and Business Solutions, i-like at follow lamang ang page namin sa Facebook. Para makita nyo yung mga updates sa mga susunod pang webinars, sa mga tutorial videos, ganyan. Sisiguraduhin namin na mas marami pang aral ang aming ipapabaon sa inyo. Hanggang sa muli, maraming salamat sa pakikinig at see you on the next webinar or videos. If you have further questions, you may send your queries by emailing us through our Gmail account, mbhbookkeepers@gmail.com, or send us a message through our FB page at MBH Online Accounting and Business Solution. That is all. So, once again, ito po yung presented at your screens are our social media accounts. Once again, our Facebook page, MBH Online Accounting and Business Solutions, our YouTube page, YouTube account, MBH Online Accounting and Business Solutions. Dito nyo makikita yung mga tutorial videos namin. So, ayan, hindi rin kami magpapahuli. Siyempre, meron din kaming TikTok account. You can follow us at MBH Online. So, meron din kaming IG account, MBH Online Accounting, Twitter account at MBH Accounting, or you may contact us through our phone number 0906-491-442 and email us at info@mbhonlineaccounting.com. So, that will be all for today's webinar. Thank you and have a blessed day ahead.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.